Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to import lyrics from SongSelect into ProPresenter. So SongSelect is a third-party service that we use at church, and that way it just automatically imports songs for us. That way we don't have to type every word out. Alright, so for my example I'm going to use I Can't Believe by Elevation Worship. So I'm just going to go ahead, open ProPresenter. Okay, let's just hit reopen. Okay, so now ProPresenter is open. We want to import our song from SongSelect, so I'm going to come up here in the toolbar, hit SongSelect, and then you can just type in I Can't Believe. So as you can see, there's a whole lot of songs that come up with similar titles to I Can't Believe. There's a couple different ways you can check, make sure you have the right one. You can look at the authors, like Chris Brown from Elevation. You can also compare the CCLI numbers from ProPresenter and what is on Planning Center. The other thing you can do is when you click on each file, it gives you a preview of the lyrics. So I know this top file is the one I want, so I'm going to select that, hit import. Alright, so there's a couple things that we're going to want to do. Make sure that you have this set to line break, and then you have one delimiter. So what that does is basically this is how it automatically breaks everything up into one line. For a category, I'm going to select song, all that. Alright, now I'm going to go to edit, and then here you can edit, you can preview your file before you actually import it. So I know one thing that I'm for sure going to want to change is I don't want, for the glory of parentheses, I don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and delete parentheses. We'll scroll through. We can make changes later while we're working on this file, but it's often easier just to do it here at the beginning. Alright, that's good to go. I'm going to import in the top. Okay, so now we have I Can't Believe imported, imported into our ProPresenter library. I'm going to right click on this file and I'm going to hit rename. I'm going to rename this to I Can't Believe Elevation Worship. Alright, and then now another thing I want to do is I want to create a new arrangement that will always match to ProPresenter. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to come up here, click on our arrangement button, hit this gear icon, add new arrangement, and then type in Ableton, enter. Alright, we can close up our arrangement window. And so now, what we're going to do is we are going to open our editor window. Okay, so the first thing we need is we need a blank slide at the very beginning of the song. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down and click this plus sign that says add slide, and now added a new slide to slide number 2. Well, you have to click and drag that outside of this blue verse 1 group. So now you have this gray slide. I'm going to right click and come down to group label, and I am going to label this one as graphic. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is click on that, add another slide. Same thing, we're going to click and drag this outside of our existing graphic group. Right click on slide number 1, group label, we're going to create a blank. Alright, we're done in editor for now, so I'm going to close out of here. And so now we have slide number 1 is a blank, and slide 2 is a graphic, and then verse 1 starts on slide 3. So things are kind of out of order, so we can go back to our arrangement button. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit this X on blank. So I want our very first slide to be a graphic. That way, so if we put a motion graphic in here that had color and patterns on it, it would just go on this slide. But then say we had an instrumental for say between verse 1 and chorus 1. Then what you can do is you can click and drag your blank in between in between your chorus 1 and your verse 2. You can add a blank in between. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and say we play the bridge a couple times and then we go back into chorus. Whatever the arrangement of the song is, I'm going to go ahead and get it all in order. I'm going to make sure and put it blank at the very end of our project, of our file.